Hi, my name is Eric Mickelson with Spartan Controls. In this video, we will be going over the key installation considerations on a Flexim ultrasonic portable flow meter on a liquid service application. I will be using the F601 portable Flexim transmitter in this video, but the same basic principles would apply to other Flexim installations. These are the variation of transmitters you may come across, and in our video, we will be focusing on the portable 6 series. In this video, we will be working with the following equipment: an F601 transmitter, CDP transducers, standard acoustic gel, a wall thickness probe, ladder chains, and transducer mounts. These transmitters can be purchased with 2 channels for 2 flow measurements and optional inputs and outputs. We will be programming it to measure one channel, channel A. Prior to programming the meter, it is best to confirm the following parameters for your application: outer diameter or circumference, wall thickness, pipe material, if there's any pipe lining, if there's any roughness of the pipe, the type of medium we are measuring, and the temperature of that same medium. For this video, we'll be working on a 2-inch Schedule 10 stainless steel pipe with water at 21 degrees Celsius. To power on the 601, press and hold the C button for 2 seconds. It'll show the model and serial number of the transmitter. Once powered on, there are 4 main menus. From left to right, we have parameter, measuring, output options, and special function. We will touch on the basics of these menus throughout this video for our installation. If you want to charge the transmitter, it must be on, and you will see the battery light flashing green once plugged in. The battery percentage can be found in special function, battery status. To power the unit off, press the brake button 3 times. The brake button is also used as a back button. We will start by setting the flow units in the output options menu. Scroll over and press enter. Here, we will select our desired channel, in this case, channel A. For this setup, we will pick volume flow, meter cube per minute, damping of 10 seconds, store measure data. For data logging, let's pick yes, no for serial output, set the storage rate for every 10 seconds, error delay to default of 60 seconds, and alarm output to no. Let's set some basic parameters into the transmitter prior to measuring. The length and temperature units of our configuration can be found in Special Function menu, System Settings, Dialogues/Menus. We are going to select millimeters for this installation and degrees Celsius. The data logger is what we will set up next. Enter the Special Functions menu, System Settings, Storing. Turn ring buffer on, sample mode to sample, quantity storage to both, store amplitude to on, store C medium to on, store diagnostics to on, and beep on storage to off. In the parameters menu, we will program channel A. Prior to programming the transmitter, please refer to a spec sheet of the piping section for this information. We will be using the outer diameter for our transmitter, but you can always measure the circumference by running a measuring tape over the pipe. Enter the outer diameter of 60.33 millimeters. Enter the wall thickness of 2.76 millimeters, and we will be confirming this later with our wall thickness gauge. Scroll over to your pipe material, in this case stainless steel. If your material is not shown, pick other material and it'll ask you for that material's speed of sound. We don't have any lining, no roughness, our medium is water, And the same goes if your medium is not shown, pick Other and enter the medium speed of sound for your process. Lastly, the temperature is 21 degrees Celsius. In our kit, we have an optional wall thickness probe. We recommend verifying the wall thickness as this could vary from the original specification to its current installation due to corrosion or even buildup. When you plug in the connector, be aware of the red alignment marking on the LEMO connector. Once plugged in, wall thickness detected on A will display and you will hear a beep. The parameters menu will need to be confirmed prior to entering the measuring menu. Leave the default speed of sound entered. We will want to apply some acoustic coupling to the probe and place it perpendicular to the pipe. Once the light goes green, this will show you the measured wall thickness. Our spec calls for a wall thickness of 2.76 millimeters. The first picture shows a 1 sound path installation, and the second picture on the right shows a 2 sound path. We can change the amount of sound paths depending on the process conditions and installation. Any sound path configuration over 4 should be reviewed by a factory trained technician, as the most common installations are typically 1 or 2. Before we program the transmitter, we will plug in the transducer to make sure it is recognized. Once plugged in, you will hear a beep and clamp-on detected on A will appear. Once you're ready to install the transducers and measuring flow, we will go into the measuring menu. This screen will show you what channels are enabled. Make sure channel A is enabled by scrolling up and down on the channel to see a check mark below. You can label the measuring point as 1, 2, 3 for this. We will be doing a 2 sound path for this installation. The optimal transducer spacing is calculated by this screen. This will be the calculated spacing we want to install the transducers at. We will now be installing the transducers on the pipe. First thing we want to check is get our minimum upstream and downstream requirements for the specific application. Since we're a 2-inch pipe, this is our upstream section and our 20-inch section is right here. So we're going to be installing our transducers right here, and to verify our downstream section is 5 diameters, we're also going to measure 10 inches, which is roughly here. So this middle section will work perfectly for its installation. We'll install the mounts on the transducers, and these just slide in. The transducers have a directional arrow on them to go with the flow. Since our flow is blowing this way, we need to install the tail of the transducer here. We'll now put some acoustic gel on the bottom of the transducers. And put them onto the pipe. Put our ladder chains over top of the pipe. It's easiest if you hook the top portion of the mount and then loop the bottom across. Once it's in the groove, you can tighten down the mount and ensure your transducers are horizontal for this particular installation. The next one is our downstream transducer, where we'll also put some acoustic gel on. Our spacing is con for negative, so we will put this face to face. Put our chain over top, hook it through the top portion of the mount, and then connect the bottom. Place them face to face and tighten down on the mount. Back in the measuring screen, we can enter past the transducer distance screen. This screen shows us our signal amplitude, and we should typically have at least 3 bars, which is approximately 30% of signal. This next screen is asking for the actual distance that we installed the transducers at. Remeasure the distance to give an exact reading. We are now ready to measure flow. While measuring flow, the displayed information can be toggled by the top and bottom view. If you press 9, it'll scroll through the top display, and if you press 3, it'll change the bottom display. Some key diagnostics such as signal, quality, and speed of sound are shown here. Thank you for watching our video. For any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to Spartan Controls.